Hi everybody, this is Masha Hammerling and I will be showing you today, according to the requests of my viewers on Instagram, how I'm doing Artober Bible Challenge. Now it's my 5th year doing Artober Bible Challenge. It started with the October challenge that was created by Jake Parker. It's actually was called Inktober, but I transformed that to myself, so I'm doing Artober Bible Challenge. As you can see here, that's my Artober Bible Challenge, and I am using Proverbs this month of October. Every day of October, 31 Proverbs so far have been created. I'm sorry I can't show you in a better view because everything is set up on top of my tea picture, and all of my tools are over here, so I will gonna quickly show you how I am doing that. So this is the tools that I'm using: water, brushes, black ink, clear water, and over here 4 micron ink pen, and they range from 0.05 to 0.3, just for the different width of the lines. Just pencil, eraser, ruler, and I also use ink wash. So over here I am doing my ink wash. And I also sometimes using reference photos, and of course the Bible is another tool that I'm using. I am starting with, so I will push this aside. Before I will start, I want to show you the size of my squares. As you can see over here, I have I'm not gonna move my camera, it's very hard, but in the pictures earlier, I've shown before how it's all layout. It's like in the layout of a calendar for the month, and so in each square or in each rectangle I'm creating very small tiny sketches every day. So it's 2 3/8 of an inch wide, and it's 1 6/8 of an inch high. So it's really small drawings, and I will be doing one of the last drawings. Today is October 30th. I will be having October 31st sketch tomorrow. And today we have Proverbs 35. So Proverbs chapter 30, verse 5. So I read the Bible, verse 5. Every word of God is flawless. He is a shield to those who take refuge in him. So I usually actually read Bible from the Bible app, and it's just helps me because I can flip through different Bible verses, different translations very easily, and it really helps me to get understanding, a bigger, deeper understanding of the. I'm sorry, I need to. Okay, start moving stuff and everything just falls apart. I'm sorry about that, but yeah, so I am trying to do my best and understanding the meaning of the Bible verse that I chose for this day. And sometimes it's easy, or sometimes it's really hard. So that's when I start reading Bible verse from different versions and from even different translations. Like I'm using Russian translation, and I'm using English, and I also using NIV, King James, and I'm using Sino for the Russian translation. So it's just kind of helps me to understand. I don't know, is it pronounced Sino or Cyrillic? I don't know how you pronounce that, but it's it's very helpful. I like reading Bible in both languages, my native language and English. And then I pray, asking God for the inspiration. Sometimes picture comes immediately in my brain. Sometimes it takes a while, and it's kind of like a labor time, like giving birth to an image inside of my head first. And then it's sort of transferring image from my head onto the paper. So I already prayed. I already kind of got an idea of the what I want to do for this Bible verse, and I will probably I would probably do a second part of this Bible verse where it says that he is a shield to those who take refuge in him. So that's the part I want to do. And I want to do kind of like a view from a bird's eye view, sort of. So a hand from the sky stretches out holding the shield, and people on the ground over here on earth will be taking refuge or hiding behind that shield. So that was the image that was kind of almost automatically created in my brain for today's verse. So I probably going to stop talking, and because I just gonna will be giving you key points, and I might turn on some music if I will be able to do that. And I ended up turning off all the lights because they were giving very bad shadows everywhere. So just natural light over here. Okay. So there you go. So first I'm sketching an image with a pencil, and I like gesture drawing style where it just helps me to come up with ideas. It's like carving idea from the head, and sometimes it just looks like a mess, and sometimes for those who just looking at it in the beginning, it's very hard to understand what's going on, but later on they are able to get the grasp of my idea. And over here I will place that hand that I just realized it's kind of too big of a hand, so I'm constantly making mistakes and I'm constantly fixing myself. And it will be, I like to use this kind of clouds to cover the image of God, and sometimes just a hand or feet that I show kind of give an understanding to people who I'm referring to. I do use image of Jesus, but for God, the Father, I prefer to just keep him in obscure, kind of a little bit not visible, because nobody kind of knows how he looks. So okay, and here it will be that fist that's holding the part of the shield that helps the warrior to hold on to this like little straps. Be that fist, trying to pinpoint the fist because the position is very awkward. Even though I have reference photo I'm looking at, it's a little bit work, will require a little of work to figure it out, and I was just gonna do basic. Okay, that would be the longest finger, and then that part of the and that's the shield, and that's gonna be the ground, like that. So that's how the idea is being born. That's how that's the first stages of those on the edges that you see. It's from previous days, final sketch, but this is something that I start with, and I want to make it more in perspective, to make it more like we're looking down at it. And people will be standing here in different praying position. If this video will be way too long, I will be making it short so that it doesn't, it's not going to take you a long time to watch it, but usually it takes me about 30 minutes to fully polish from sketch with idea to the fully polished project. So it's, and over here I will try to create an image of a crowd that is attacking, kind of. Like spears. So that's it, practically. The rest, I know it's not polished. I know there's a lot of just construction lines over there, but that's what I do later. After I'm done with the pencil sketch, I use one of my ink pen. Depends on the idea, and usually I start with kind of like maybe 2 and 02, and I just carve that image further, and trying to create that Usually I don't talk when I create, so it might be hard for me as I'm polishing up to talk, so please bear with me. And I will have to shift fingers over here to make it more realistic. Okay, and there will be that strap. And there's second strap for the wrist. I will put these clouds so that they will take their space in my drawing, because I don't want to overlap clouds with people like it happened on the pencil drawing. Like that. I still have pencil image. I don't erase it until very end, because this image helps me. Even image with mistakes that was done with the pencil, it still helps me to see things better. And there's praying people who are praying and worshiping God. And now I will put that ground. And over here will be the attacking people. They would be probably only like a silhouettes, because, you know, it doesn't matter who is trying to hurt you. God has power over any type of attacker, any type of a weapon, even though I'm using kind of medieval weapons here. And here's the person over here. Here's a silhouette of that man with hammer or something. That's it. Well, generally, this is, I'm finished tracing the image. I am going to erase pencil line at this point, and I will be further perfecting. Okay, I just give it a little a little time, and I'm kind of fanning it. If you see, I'm fanning it so the ink will dry, but usually ink dries very fast. And so after that, I'm holding my hand so my paper wouldn't crumble as I'm erasing pencil line from underneath. Now, I like to do ink wash, which is multiple layers of diluted ink that is applied in order to create three-dimensional image. And it's not fully three-dimensional, but it definitely gives a texture, gives some color, and some simple three-dimensional qualities for shadows, casting shadows, core shadows, like some gradation. So I like using that. So to do that, I'm trying to figure out what would be the darkest thing, what would be the lightest part of this image, and I am proceeding with this water brushes, one filled with ink and one filled with water, and I will be mixing all of this also on this lid of the container where all my tools are. Then I wipe it down and everything looks nice and clean. So I need to create that ink wash, and I always start with the lightest color, so I'm just diluting a little bit of ink with this water brush, just like that. A little. If I see that I diluted too much of an ink, I add more water, and I just get it like that. And so this part of the shield will be not the darkest parts, but one of the blocked images. So I'm blocking it with the first layer of ink. The darkest crowd will be these people who are attacking, and then I just give a little touch to the clouds. Bottom part of the clouds kind of helps to see them a little bit, and a little bit to the show muscles of the heavenly warrior, Jesus, and just give a little dimension over there. Then I don't want to do these people in many layers. I'm just gonna right away make this attacking crowd with dark ink. So I just going to give some color to the praying people, and I just choose only two. It doesn't matter how many, right? Gathered together in the name of Jesus. And they will be getting more color later. And for the ground, I also will cover this ground a little bit with tinted, with ink wash. I didn't want to say tinted water, but like that. And while this ink wash is drying with the first layer, I will start painting these bad guys with the darker ink. I will make them to look like a crowd, so they will have no individual qualities, you know, just somebody who is attacking you. It's a very tiny drawing, so I know I need to paint a little better without... I'm not gonna paint attacking weapons. I think it will work if the crowd will be dark, and attacking weapons will be left white, so the difference between those two will put emphasis on the attacking weapons, so they will be visible. So it's just the whole crowd that attacking. I don't know, maybe I should paint weapons. I will wait and see. This is almost dry, so I'm just gonna give more color over here to the people who are in front. So it will create a little bit of 3D effect. Like that. And we have people on the back over there talking. So everybody's standing there just waiting for their turn to throw a spear or a hammer or some type of thing into you. But I will concentrate right now on this part. And I will be adding next layer of color to the shield. I want shield to be a bit darker, like a, you know, shadow of his wing, shadow of his of his shield. The safest place to be, right? I'm sorry, my dogs are... Okay, that's okay. Like that. And I will... Okay, I will give maybe a bit more color to the muscle on the hand. Trying, I need a little lighter. And colors also get a little lighter as they dry, so okay, and a little more tint to those clouds. Now again, remember, it looks very dark when you painting, but then when the paint dries, you see image a little more like in the lighter shade. And that's what ink wash is, or, you know, you create just layers and layers, and you darken up layers by putting more layers on them if you want it, or you just leaving them, the lightest parts as white paper or as the only one layer. I spilled some water over here. I hope it's not tinted water. It's kind of messy, but that's okay. It's just a sketch. I know there's a lot of maybe not anatomically correct things happen with this hand, and maybe there are some other things, perspective not really fully perfect, but it's a sketch. It's a first impression, first glimpse, something that helps to get an idea of the Bible verse, and then have that visual in your head sometimes helps. And a bit shadow from the people, right? And these people I can even darken more. As you can see, they got very light. Not every part, just here and there. So it wouldn't be too much. Okay, so next what I do when I'm done with my so I did drawing, I did tracing with ink pen, then I do ink wash. After that, I waiting for all layers of ink wash to be dried. Sorry, talking so much, had to drink some water. And then I just put more emphasis on some lines, perfecting a couple of things that end up a little too blurry or something is not going right. I'm doing it usually with the wider pen, thicker tip. So 0.3 usually is the thing that I use, and then I kind of share that on different social media, and I'll tell you details in a second. So why do I need to wait until I'll trace for the last time with an ink pen? Is because this is really very fragile. This is just a printer paper, you know, copier paper. It's not really kind of designed to be used for the ink wash or for drawings or sketches, but it's doing such a good job. So for the first year, I've done the copier paper, and then I used just a sketchbook with really good paper, but this year, because of how busy I was during the October, I just went back into small sketches every day, and you know, it's working good. If copier paper can hold the ink from the printer, why ink wash cannot be used, right? It might not be perfect for markers or paint, like acrylic paint, watercolor paint, or tempera cakes, but ink wash is kind of okay because this paper designed for ink, right? So, all right, so my papers, and you can feel if it's wet, still wet or not, so you can feel it with your fingers. You can fan it, that helps. I wouldn't put it under the sun because sun bleaches paper. Even though I'm using archival ink pen, it's also warps the paper, so it's just not something that I'm looking forward to. So I do that, and then I trace all over again everything, and I wait until it's fully dry. I can't really believe that it's my next to the last day of my Artober Bible challenge. 31 days almost passed, right? One more day left, Monday, tomorrow. All right, so now what I'm doing is I will be just putting emphasis on certain parts, making some lines wider or darker, and just perfecting, you know, finalizing some final touches, putting final touches into this drawing. So I like to do my drawings with hidden meaning, because I think it's really cool when people read the Bible and then look into my drawings, or some people try to look at the drawings without reading the Bible verse that was my drawings inspired by, and they try to decode what I was trying to say. So that's kind of cool, but really it's I really try to put a lot of different details and some symbolic meaning that helps to helps to put everything in perspective. And of course, this is just my idea. This is just my way of translating sort of this Bible verse. You know, other artists would probably put emphasis on some other part or will create a different image. But for me, this is usually the, I just need to make this one darker because thumb is hidden and partially covered by this pointy finger. And I don't like to just, you know, illustrate without putting thoughts into it, just, you know, a simple illustration. I always looking forward to have, it's like a puzzle, you know, for people to look at. So for, as a Christian, from this sketches, daily sketches that I've been making, what I like is to just get the connection with God on a different level, like an artist can connect, connection that, you know, shows his faithfulness, because I've done it for 5 years, you know. It's not easy to come up every day for 31 days in a row with different ideas, even though you're given a prompt list, right? But this is how his faithfulness is showing, and that's how you get to know God even better. So from the spiritual perspective, it's an absolutely wonderful exercise, or a Bible study, or like daily devotion, I would say. Now from, there's some kind of screws, I guess, inside of those. From the artistic perspective, this is good because this gives you an opportunity to, so you see, I also using hatching lines and sometimes cross-hatching lines to put emphasis for like shadows and other things. You every day for 31 days you're sketching something and you creating images, you're practicing your artistic skills, generation of ideas. You know, it's a really powerful tool that I think Christian artists, or any type of artist, but especially Christian artists, should do, because it benefits people on so many levels, and it helps, you know. It also helps you, as if you want to share or post it on social media. It helps people to also get some inspiration for the day, and it's a good thing. So I'm using lines to show not just 3D and texture, but also motion. Like you're putting those couple of lines over here, and person looks like he is really raising his hands up. And I will add a few more cross-hatching lines over here, because I want that shield to look like it's been in a battle, you know. And some type of shadow and texture. It's just a good thing. Next, let's see what else I want to do. Oh, I probably need to put that, it's like a, when the shields in the medieval times were made like out of wood, they had metal encasing, I guess it's called. It's like wrap that goes around to keep edges. So some. All right, so I'm not gonna do too much details, you know. I sometimes also add Let's see how it looks on the screen. Maybe I will outline the whole crowd a little bit so they would look more fierce and okay. And I also sometimes images that I create make me think about people or situations in the world that arise, you know, during the time of my drawing. And I often, you know, think and pray about them, because it feels like that verse or my translation of that Bible verse, my interpretation through the sketch is kind of like speaks to their situation. So like right now I'm thinking about Ukraine and that war that for over 8 months is going on over there, that Russia started. So I am thinking about that as I am drawing this. Just create the feeling of a crowd over there. That's it. I guess I can, sometimes I feel like adding tiny bit details, and so a little bit of grass or some type of, you know, lively thing, texture. This ink pen is almost dead, so I'm creating fine lines, like really tiny lines over here. Little thing for shadow, that casting shadow. And feels like I need to make shield a little darker over here, just a bit, so that it will pop more. And with ink wash, you can do layers as long as you can. As long as your ink wash is not too dark, you can add those layers again and again. So yeah, that's it. And I will also share this in a post and in my story as a picture with the Bible verse. And again, I will repeat Bible verse. It's from Proverbs, chapter 30, verse 5. Every word of God is flawless. He is a shield to those who take refuge in him. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this time with me, and I will zoom out to show you that's my reference photo for the shield, and to show you my whole calendar in perspective. One more day left. Tomorrow, Monday, October 31st of 2022. And thank you so much for being with me. Bye.